Hello everyone. Today we are going to go live at Fontana for the USA Truck Series Duels to set off the season. And so, with no further ado, make sure we're recorded for this session. Should set up just fine though. Starting on the front row is Jack Davis and Atlee Weiss. Behind them is the 07 of Cash and the 00 of Jack Ross. Then you've got Bradley Ream and Nathan Morgan, Chaz Chadwick, Jessica Hergeson, Adam Starr, and Avery Farrell to set up your top 10. So only the top 20, 21 drivers will transfer to the main event out of the two duels here. So and they're off. 25 laps for this first duel. Oh, and we got a crash happening. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like the 51 of Cannon Gage was involved. Gannon Bird's right there out on the mid side. Where does this wreck happen? Where does it start? 59 of Gannon Bird's giving him a run here. Oh, and we got some potential beef established here between the Navy and the Army car. That's one way to start it off. So now I'll just give us a little bit of a recap here for most of you that might just be tuning in. First lap of the race, our leader was Jack Davis. They make it through one lap clean. On the return of the next lap, though, we've got Cannon Gage and Gannon Bird running mid-pack here. And Gannon Bird just drives right through Cannon Gage, as you can see there. Slamming him into the outside wall, collecting Jacob Shangle. Luke West looks like he was probably involved too. And so early on, we're going to have some pandemonium in duel number 1, and it's greatly going to affect the outcome and who's going to be able to transfer into the next one. As you can see, Jack Davis with the lead, Bradley Ream in second, Cash in third, Avery Farrell in fourth, Al Bunch in fifth, Jessica Hergeson, Tim Cording, Atlee Weiss fell back from his front two spots that he started at. The 77 of Nelson Morrison and the 14 of Adam Starr. Looks like Cannon Gage is going to continue going onward here. The 59 of Gannon Bird. Currently running up in a transfer position after spinning out the 51 Navy truck there. Hi, James.
I got a copy.
Sorry, I didn't have my Discord open originally, but I'm sure you kind of saw a little bit of what was going on there.
Yeah, I did.
Little bit of
Just a
drama to
sec.
start out this first duel, so. Only one retirement so far, that being my own self in the 64 truck. But we're starting off strong here with Army versus Navy, so.
Sorry about that, Jacob. My mom called me there.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, from what I saw, it looked on the stream, it looked like it was starting out to be a pretty solid first duel here.
Yeah, I think we're going to have beef going forward, Navy versus Army, so it's kind of crazy that it just so happened to play out that way in the first lap of this one, that the Army truck spun out the Navy truck. He's still going, and currently P30. He's going to have to make up 10 spots to make a transfer, which is no easy feat to pull off here.
No, and can you do me and maybe a few people tuning in just now remind us who the drivers are that are go or go home? Or is it everybody's go or go home?
Everybody's go or go home in the truck. So there's no
Okay.
It's gonna be I think what we might end up even doing is potentially an LCQ. I'm not 100% set on the two duels being the end all for everyone. If we did the LCQ, then it would be 20 from each duel, and then an LCQ with everyone else that was not locked in, and we'll bring on 2 from that one.
I'd say just take 21 and 21.
21 and 21. And honestly, once the season starts, then the top 35 in points will be locked in each week. So.
Right. Looks like we're getting doubled up here for the restart.
And so unfortunately for the truck drivers, there is no lock. It's a whole bunch of new people in the series, so it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting year with 61 drivers.
Absolutely.
Green flag waves and a bunch of new names at the front here. Bradley Ream was actually one of the last entrants into the USA Truck Series, and he's right out there in the front so far. 3x3x3, they're running. The only thing I can imagine is cautions will breed cautions. This duel might be pretty chaotic all the way through.
Yeah, the way they're all pushing so hard early on here, you gotta wonder if this is gonna might get a little bit ugly really fast.
Al Bunch leads that lap, and oh boy. 77 of Nelson Morrison.
Oh no. Looks like Cording's day is gonna end the same way it did in his duel for Cup.
So right there we've got the 77 got into the 50. Tim Cording. It might be a mild cosmetic damage for Cording, though. I believe he'll still be able to go on. The 15 there of Kenyon Hall. Just a slight kiss into the wall. Jessica Hergeson, and then the 51 just kind of clipped her there. And the 07 of Cash. So I think we'll see most of these ones.
Oh, that's where the I believe the Navy truck picked up its damage there. The 40 came down the track and clipped him.
Yeah, it's continuing to accumulate more and more damage on that truck, but he's still running.
We did get a new fastest lap before that caution came out, though. Set by Matthew Fastnot with a 39.025.
And once they cross the start-finish line, it looks like he'll slot in third there.
That's a big gain from 12th there.
Also,
Chadwick
for
up to second.
all of you that's tuning in, thank you very much. Currently at 9 on the broadcast right now, which is awesome. There's a lot of you that probably haven't followed the series in the past year. Our champion of this series last year graduated into Cup, Guido Piano, who came kind of from the depths of behind. I mean, he was really behind the ball, and he still found a way to win the championship. And because of that, he graduated to the Cup Series this year. The way it's going to work this year, anyone that wins the Truck Series will get an instant graduation into the Busch Series, which then in hand winning the Busch Series is your ticket into Cup. And so that's kind of why we've got such a big field, right, James?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
The Busch Series will be kind of locked at 30 to 35 drivers each season. Obviously, there will be a truck champion that'll add another driver to that fold. But for the most part, these trucks will be the bulkiest of the series. And there's no cap, there's no limit at how many will field each season. So top 5 looking kind of like last year's top contenders for the most part. Chadwick should have been 2022 champion of the series. Just things didn't fall his way as they did.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on the top 5 as well. That it's all drivers that had fairly decent seasons last year, just couldn't really capitalize and mount that run. Especially the Chadwick, who fell just short.
Jack Davis, he actually won the All-Star race for the USA Trucks. So he kind of adds a unique, you know, accolade to his series here. Then we got this will be Dave Steele's first attempt at a full season. He failed to make the All-Star race, but it's going to be fun seeing him fight for positions and fight for wins here. As well as it would be the 59 of Gannon Bird. And he's going to have some different paint schemes in and out throughout the season, honoring all the different branches of military, so that's going to be fun.
Harding's going to have to pick up 7 spots if he wants to make the main event here after that caution.
Looks like the only retiree will be the 64 truck. Everyone else still running at the moment, whether they are running with damage or other stuff is on the board there. But yeah, Tim Cording's at the long end of the line here.
Literally at the tail end of the line, from the looks of things.
Looks like they had to extend the caution here. I thought they were going to get ready to go back green. So it should be one more lap under caution, then we'll get back to going here.
Should see lights out when they cross the line this time.
So currently our last transfer spot would belong to... We've got Skylark Chips in at the moment in 18th. Avery Farrell in at 19th. Kat Durham. And the last transfer belonging to Luke West at the moment. Lane Smith right on the bubble. Gavin Legend. He's always kind of been at that threshold. He's always on the bubble, unfortunately. James Robert can engage if, with a little bit of luck and his damaged truck, he might be able to gain some more spots and get back into this. Yeah, I think what we're going to see with this truck series of being, the entry level, a lot of these drivers, the aggression level might be out the roof. And I'm not going to say it's like ARCA, but some of the mistakes that might be made throughout the season might definitely be like an ARCA style of racing that we're going to be treated to here. Doubled up, and they're getting ready to go back green with only half the duel left to go. 13 down to 12 laps. Al Bunch right there, he knows how to get into victory lane. He won at least one truck race in 2022, but had 4 Busch races last year. Due in part to that is how he's been able to secure a part-time ride in the Cup Series for this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of these drivers will be very fun to watch, especially the new ones that are just coming in and getting started here. 4 wide, 5 wide coming out of that corner.
Dang. That's for the lead with Matthew Fastnot and Al Bunch on the outside. They had to let up and smarter heads prevailed there as Luis Rodriguez is out front leading right over Jack Davis. Nathan Morgan's got a run coming. It ain't going to last for long for Luis Rodriguez. As Bradley Ream, his truck looks like it's on a rail driving down on the inside. Bradley Ream with the lead on that lap. I think the big task now will be to try and keep it out of the wall and wrecking anymore. As I mentioned that, the 8 truck gets into the wall, kind of loses all momentum there. Holy cow, Gavin Legend. He was about 26th, and now he's all the way into the top 10.
I was just looking at Tim Cording, who was involved in that previous caution. Looking like he's already on his way back towards where he was before that caution.
Oh, the 07's wrecking again. They keep it going straight. No caution.
Oh.
Man, if this first duel's any indicator, the second duel's going to be crazy as well.
Legend up to 6th and Cording up to 9th after that restart. So both of those drivers definitely trying to making sure they're in the main event.
John Brinker with a good run here in 3rd. Tim Hansen currently your leader. Al Bunch settling into a top 5. Avery Farrell in the top 10.
Cash Chadwick just set a new fastest lap time. 38.735 there.
As you can see, just blew by Tim Cording as well.
Yeah, Chadwick is on rails, hugging that bottom line. I think after that wreck, Cording might just be trying to limp it out and try to make sure he at least qualifies for the main event.
I think what we're seeing now is the speed starting to pick up after the drivers have figured out where they're safe on track. They're now kicking it into overdrive, and that's where you're seeing the faster trucks come to the front. Unfortunately for Cannon Gage, the damage on his truck was just a bit too much to pull off a miracle here, sitting in 30th. Looking like Jessica Hergeson. Man, the battle for the bubble spot's going to be where it's at right here. There's a whole bunch.
Up to 4th.
Jeez, man, it might be funner to watch Chadwick here, too. Holy cow, up to 4th?
Yeah, he's looking like he's trying to come back and win this thing.
He's kind of got a chip on his shoulder after losing the championship in 2022. He vowed that he ain't going to retire from this truck series until he secures a championship. So,
Cording gonna lose a couple spots there as well.
Only 5 laps to go, and honestly, with the speeds that he's running,
I think he's gonna catch these front 3 and he might find himself on the pole for the main event there.
Those of you that are watching, if your truck's not in this first duel, your truck will definitely be in the second duel. So just stay tuned. We're gonna have the second duel following right after this one. The trucks here, I definitely experimented with our driver ratings, and I think it's paying off. As you can see, it's very sporadic, it's
Racy.
volatile. Yeah, no, it's definitely very racy. It's handing us a good situation of passing, and it's not a wreck fest. I was afraid at first it was just going to be a wreck fest, but we've settled in here for the second half of duel number 1, and caution free for the last 10 laps so far.
Oh man, he's got himself up to third, looking to maybe try to take that second spot away.
Bradley Ream's going to take the lead there. Tim Hansen falling back to third. Chaz just ain't going to sit back much longer as he blows by for the lead.
Yeah. Chadwick on rails as usual.
Bradley Ream settles into second there. Tim Hansen third. Solid route.
I'd say we should be worried about that lap car just up ahead, but with 2 laps to go, I think that's a non-factor.
Right? Yeah, we got Al Bunch and then Adam Starr making his debut in the truck series here. Our all-star Jack Davis, John Brinker, Jack Davis, or Jack Ross, I mean. Atlee Weiss looks like he's going to get in. Luis Rodriguez, Krista Cower. Tim Cording's going to get just enough to finish in the top 15 there. 19th, Jessica Hergeson, 20th, and 21st looks like our last transfer will be Gannon Bird here. The rest of them kind of fell backwards there at the end, and there you have it. Gannon Bird in his first ever USA Trucks debut will be racing in the first main event of his career.
Quick rundown of those that did not make it. Nunez, Durham 23rd, Gavin Legend 24th, Lane Smith 25th, Luke West 26th, 27th goes to Cash, 28th Nelson Morrison, 29th is Kenyon Hall, 30th goes to Cannon Gage, and rounding out the field is Jacob Shangle, 21 laps down.
So I wonder why they're still out there running laps. They evidently didn't think the race was over. We'll have to go back onto the game. I've never had this happen before. Ever. Because the checkered flag's waving. Was I not live? Oh. So the ticker is correct. Everything you read on the ticker was live. I was not live on the race. And our official winner was Chaz Chadwick. Okay, so Chadwick won it.
Adam Starr with the fastest lap, 38.711.
Gannon Bird in 79 of Roberts in. 35 of Durham out. Nunez, yep, so everyone else stayed about the same. So
I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the second duel here.
the second duel is going to be intense. Okay, since I got that, all I gotta do, I'm not even gonna bother switching to the slideshow. We'll just hop right into race 1, heat number 2. Yeah, at first I thought the game was gonna keep running laps for infinite amount because it was like, what the heck? So, starting on the front row, two other top contenders, of course, being the 13 of Aunt Me Person and Jordan Walker. So, two heavy hitters starting on the front row. Then we've got Monty Shangle and Trevor Walker, Brian DeBlanc and Charlie Chippington, Andrew Moger and the 46 of Craig Popcrest, David Bird, no relation to Gannon Bird, this has been confirmed, and Zach Armstrong, Taden Berggren, and Paulo Ladino, Dusty Redding and Colton Smith, Maggie Reams and JD Arrington, Tyler Disharoon and Maximilian Veers, Noah Hobson and Nate Gonzalez, Mike Bliss Jr. and Chris Hergeson, Roland Heidfeld and Daniel Paulus Jr., William Kinsella Jr. and Philip Leeds, Josh Drake and James King, and then at the back, Santi Messi and Brian Clark. Just like the first duel, only the top 21 will transfer to the main event. And I'm willing to bet we're going to see some more wrecks and carnage in this one here.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this race went almost exactly like the last one did.
It's kind of neat, the Walker brothers starting nose and tail there.
Yeah, that's really neat that they're starting like that.
Definitely going to be a lot of contenders in this one that are hoping to turn around their seasons. It's kind of weird how the duels fell together. I think this duel might not have as strong of field as the first duel. We had, well, the top two at the front, that's kind of and everyone else behind them mostly new or had a lot of struggles in 2022.
Yeah, I feel like once you got outside of the playoffs for the trucks last year, everybody's results were kind of a mixed season.
Right. Well, and
Not a lot of wins going on around past the playoffs, but a lot of fairly solid seasons overall.
Yeah, a lot of this field are all the part-time drivers from last year. Most of your full-time, which would have been the Walker brothers and Aunt Me Person, David Bird, and I think that's about it for your full-time contenders, other than Roland Heidfeld there, Philip Leeds, and William Kinsella Jr. So yeah,
Looks like Santi Messi struggling a little bit early on there.
The three got into the wall and fell all the way to the back. Well, we've already gone further in this duel than we did the other one without a caution.
That's a good start, I'd say.
And that happens a lot too, where you'll have one duel that's civilized and then the other duel that's just
Absolute
insane.
mess. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's being too aggressive early on in this duel here.
Good run for David Bird so far in the top 10. One of those ones definitely looking to turn around his season in 2023. Or, make a turnaround this year.
I'd say Brian DeBlanc is starting his career off fairly well
Second
so far at the moment.
He's fighting with two of the top title contenders from last year. Yeah, those of you that didn't catch last season, Jordan Walker had worked his way into the round of 6 in the USA Trucks playoffs, and he should have been probably one of the 3 drivers for the final 3, but Guido Piano had other plans, and he was the one that ultimately knocked Jordan Walker out of playoff contention into the round of 3. Actually, the 2 you got here, Ant Me Person in the 13 as well. The 2 of these guys were definitely in contention for a championship, but not when Guido Piano, 6th of the final 6, he won his race, he had to win in a must-win situation and pulled it off. And you got Andrew Moger there in 4th, which is a pretty good start to the season for him.
Yeah. Forgot what I was gonna say. Just enjoying the racing at this moment.
Charlie Chippington had a very partial schedule last year, and this will be his first full season of racing, and looking like he belongs here in the main events, because he's sitting solidly in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, he's off to a good start so far, and that very, very nice looking Wendy's.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to James on painting that one. That's a great scheme that you made, buddy. Yeah, even Chippington, really, when we gave the unveil for Chippington, he was ecstatic to drive that truck. So
I'll be honest, I'm a little questioning on how the numbers are turning up on stream, but the rest of the truck I absolutely love.
well, and luckily we do have the ticker up above, which will give us the numbers. So I'm not all worried about that at all. And it'll catch on, and people will start to see it for that. Dang, Ant Me Person falling backwards.
Yeah, that's a hard fall backwards. Wow. Looks like he might be getting held up by that 74 truck, though.
Apparently the 74 might be having some mechanical issues. Let's see. Nothing that popped up on there. Oh wow, they're about 4 wide, mid-pack there.
I'm just waiting for the horn for it to happen at this point in the race, because it's bound to, based on what we saw in both cup duels, the actual race, and first duel for the trucks here today. I'm just kind of waiting for it.
Currently, this would be our final transfer spots right here.
I was just about to comment on Brian DeBlanc leading his first few laps now.
Dang, and then that switched up too. We have Max Veers out leading.
Very good showing for a lot of the drivers that are just coming into the series.
Yeah, I feel this creates a very unique spectrum as your returning veterans, they're sharing the field with and whatnot. You'd expect to be out there dominating, but this is an opportunity for the rookies to step up to the plate and show what they got.
Well, and they're absolutely doing that. By a very fine margin.
Yeah, great run for Brian DeBlanc and Max Veers. Looking further back, non-veteran drivers. Charlie Chippington, no, he's been in it. 46 of Craig Popcrest there.
Good one. Well, Cat Durham, only a few, I think, handful of starts last year?
Yeah, Cat Durham was in our first duel, though, right?
Who the hell was I just seeing? I thought it was...
Were you thinking of Mike Bliss Jr.?
Yes.
Mike Bliss Jr., yep, in the 81 truck. Yep. Yeah, no, definitely only had a couple starts towards the end of the season of 2022. In the same entry there, the 81 Chevy. And he's hanging in there at the front of this one. 3 wide for the lead as Brian DeBlanc, Jordan Walker, and Max Veers.
Mike Bliss Jr. with 3 starts last year.
It seems that we had a little bit of radio input from the 74. Apparently they have been fighting a tight truck all week here, and it's rearing its ugly head again. I'm just paraphrasing from the radio output I heard there. It seems that they're fighting some tightness on the 74 truck. Still, currently, I think they're inside the top 20. But they're dropping. They've fallen all the way back to 14th. And you got Chris Ferguson there in transfer position.
Looks like we're on pace to finish this race pretty quickly here.
They're fighting hard for the front field. And we'll have to see if the veterans prevail in closing the deal here, or if maybe a rookie will get their first wouldn't necessarily be a win, but definitely a win's a win.
Yep, 3 wide coming into 1 there. Brian DeBlanc gonna take away the lead, but looks like Ant Me Person's not gonna let that stand for very long.
And they're going to be nose to nose almost at the finish line there. DeBlanc still fighting on the outside, tooth and nail there. Yeah, your top 10, you could throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, they're all right there fighting.
still 7 laps to go. There's a lot that could
Yep.
happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Mike Bliss Jr. fell back to 10th. I'm very surprised this duel has gone as well as it has.
Totally. And like I was even looking at the strength of the field, this one teeters on the lesser strength of field than the first duel, and these guys look to be the more civilized of the two. Not what you would expect from majority field of rookies. Zach Armstrong has eked his way into 20th, which is going to be good for a transfer as they run. Looks like JD Arrington has dropped back onto the bubble. We just had fast lap. Was that just? I think it just now turned by Trevor Walker.
Yeah, I believe so. 38.128. I think that's still a slower fastest lap than what Chadwick turned in that last main event. For as tight as they've been racing, I'm really impressed the fact that we have not had a caution.
We might be waiting until the last lap to get a big one that really mixes things up. You don't want to wait that long to have the big one, because then you won't have a chance to race back for it. And there's potential, for the lead pack for it to involve most of the leaders here, the way they're running.
The blank back to the lead again. Gonna defend against the 21.
See, making this first main event's going to be huge, because that'll allow you to establish top 35 in the points. And so going forward to race number 2 of the year, you'll be locked in for any race going forward as long as you're in the top 35 in points. And then we'll have a qualifier duel to determine, duels if we get to have a field of more than 80 people. But we'll have a qualifier race to determine the rest of the lineup from 37th to 42nd.
Looking like Trevor Walker leading this.
Yep, the Walker brothers 1-2 there. And you got Chris Hergeson sneaking into the picture. Chris Hergeson's going to be running full-time Cup this year, as well as a partial truck schedule.
Daniel Paulus holding down that last transfer spot at the moment.
And
get the white flag this time.
Rough for Nate Gonzalez, Josh Drake, and the likes of some of them that are making their first ever truck starts.
Or at least trying to, anyways.
Yep, white flag here this time by.
The other Walker brother gonna go down low, trying to get himself a couple spots here.
Currently, lead belongs to Chris Hergeson.
Although Ant Person looking like he's trying to start next to Chadwick here. But
David Bird.
I think this is Chris Hergeson's to lose at this point.
David Bird's going to come home in second, meaning he'll start pretty high up in the field for the main event. Ant Person.
What a close finish. Trevor
Walker, Monty Shangle, Max Veers, Maggie Reams, Jordan Walker, Paulo Ladino, and DeBlank there. Bliss Jr.
DeBlank in sixth.
Andrew Moger was able to fight the gremlins on his truck and come back for a 12th. James King, Charlie Chippington, Taden Bergen transfers. He was outside looking in for a while. Craig Popcrest. The 28 of Tyler Disharoon. Philip Leeds. Oh, dang. Nate Gonzalez must have made a last-minute buzzer beater to make it in here. So him and... Let's go back one more. Looks like him and Zach Armstrong made it in. So yeah, right there is their lap 24. 19th, 20th. Who was knocked out, though? Daniel Paulus.
Josh Drake.
And I think Daniel Paulus was in a transfer position a couple laps prior, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I believe with 3 to go, he was sitting right on the bubble.
Oh, yep, right there, lap 20. He was in 21st, but he was just right teetering on the brink of in and out the whole time.
Yep. Did his best to try to get that spot, but just falling short a little bit.
So JD Arrington, as well as Nate Gonzalez and Zach Armstrong, make it in. Josh Drake, Colton Smith, Daniel Paulus, Brian Clark, Noah Hobson, William Kinsella Jr., Dusty Redding, and Roland Heidfeld going home. Fortunately, Sandy Messi's going to have to work on his R&D for whatever he must have just came out this week with the wrong setup or something.
Yeah, that truck has to be completely off the mark. 30 seconds back by the end of this.
Simply it's only the first race of the season, so there's many opportunities to get the truck right.
Well, and we saw last year some guys that may have not been the greatest in the initial start turn out to be phenomenal by the time we were about to hit the playoffs.
For sure, yeah.
Chris Ferguson with the nice, I got a W.
Yep, it'll allow him to start on the front row for the main event tomorrow here. We'll be doing 150 miles of Fontana for the USA Trucks. David Bird will be starting pretty good. Ant Meeperson, Trevor Walker, Monty Shangle. Even in the first duel, we had Chaz Chadwick, and even Tim Cording was able to fight back to get into it too. So
He'll be starting pretty deep back, from what I recall, but still made the field. So that's the important part here,
right? So thanks again, everyone. This was simply just the dual broadcast. We will get the main event posted tomorrow around probably 2 or 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Any parting words, James?
I'm very much looking forward to the main event tomorrow.
Yeah, the truck.
If these duels are anything to go off of, this is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is the reason why the trucks has been the bread and butter of my YouTube channel for the last year. It's only going to continue to wow and excite people, so definitely I think there's a lot of excitement going into tomorrow's race. So yeah, nope, thanks again for being in the booth with me. I'll be on the booth for the main event too, so have a good night, everyone, and catch you on the flip side.
Bye.